So guys, if you're invested in the crypto markets in altcoins, you need to be knowing what's going on in the crypto markets right now. Bitcoin has been pumping, but it's been trading sideways these past 2 days. And based off of what we've been seeing in terms of price action and patterns since August, we could be deviating lower. And I want to talk about exactly, some of the biggest mistakes people make in this cycle, have been making, and why people aren't profitable. And also I want to talk about exactly what's happening with Bitcoin and why we could be deviating lower. Overall though, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader since 2023, documenting my journey, keeping you guys updated on the market, showing you guys my wins, my losses, and on top of that, keeping you guys updated on what exactly you need to know on macro events and what exactly is important. In today's episode, like how I said, I want to talk about why most people aren't profitable and exactly the price action that we're seeing with Bitcoin and why we could be deviating a little bit lower. But let's go and jump into it. So guys, as I said, Bitcoin has been pumping, but these past 2 days, we have been trading sideways. And in yesterday's video, I talked about exactly based off of the certain patterns we've been seeing since the end of August, we could be deviating lower. If you didn't watch the video, you should go check out that video. I have it right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and draw exactly the specific, analysis that we saw. I got this stuff from Justin Bennett based off of specific price action since August. So guys, we closed at this specific region around 64,000. Okay, before this, we had a sweep zone and then we dropped down. From here, guys, we closed right at this specific region at 64,000. Then Bitcoin gradually came up, swept that region, and then from there proceeded to deviate lower. Now we created this new zone right here, this new closeout at around 65,000. Now currently, if you look at what's happening in the market, it's a specific pattern of, we pretty much close, we sweep that region, we drop, and we keep on rinsing and repeating. Right now, everyone is wondering, based off of those current sweeps, are we going to be sweeping this region? Are we going to be deviating lower, or are we going to start to shoot up? Based off of the price action with Bitcoin and what's fueling this, which is perps and futures, overall we could be seeing that deviation to the lower point, showing that Bitcoin can lose all of its gains that it has currently made. So this is something that has people worried, okay? And overall, I think whenever you're wanting to know what's going on in the markets, you have to really keep up with the macro events and price action around Bitcoin and exactly what's fueling this rally. At the end of the day, we are in the midst of a bull run. Alt season is on the brink. On top of that, we have the US election coming out. FTX distribution is going to be coming out. On top of that, multiple other things like Fed cuts and specific things like global liquidity that are indicators that we're going to be shooting up. But based off of these specific patterns, guys, we could be breaking down. Justin Bennett gives his perspective on the space. He says people are celebrating a Bitcoin breakout from a 7-month range on a Friday low volume before the day or week has even closed, within a rally that is largely perp driven and OI that is back at its late July peak. I'm not going to make any bold predictions because the data is conflicting at the moment. But if you're a trader, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being cautious here. In fact, it's the way to be in situations like this. Staying cautious when things don't quite add up equals survival. Now, I want to talk about this specific post. I do believe, whenever we're in this specific region, you want to consider de-risking just based off of this pattern that we're seeing. We could be breaking back down. And if that takes place, altcoins are going to see that hit. We have been seeing altcoins get some great pumps in the last 7 days. If you look at the 7 days of a few of the altcoins I'm invested in. So overall, we could be deviating and losing all those gains. But this is where I think a lot of people lose out and don't make the most in the 2024 crypto cycle because they listen to specific narratives of what people are talking about. They try to de-risk, end up getting sidelined, or worse, they sell at a specific point and buy back in higher like retail. So a great post talking about this is Miles Dutcher. He says, if you're buying altcoins now, you're accepting that at some point soon, you will probably have to watch Bitcoin move higher whilst your bags lag/chop. And when Bitcoin dumps after big moves, you're also accepting that your alts will dump even harder. However, you should embrace this chop and use it as an opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. Remember, 80% of altcoin gains occurred during the final 20% of the move when Bitcoin is close to a top, which is currently nearing the end, which is where we're at right now. Bitcoin pumping and dominance rising first is exactly what the altcoin market needs to sustain a bigger move. We need, like how we talked about in previous videos, we don't need just a straight drop off. We need to have a gradual increase so that it's healthy and altcoins can get that liquidity that they need. He goes on to say, by scaling into alts in by scaling into alts in the lead up, you're betting that by the end of the cycle, you will have outperformed Bitcoin. And you probably will, as long as you don't fumble the bag in the interim. So guys, during this time, I think the biggest mistake that people make is whenever we're on the brink, they want to de-risk because people are talking about de-risking. They don't want to lose out on their gains. A lot of people end up getting sidelined. On top of that, they exit their positions and try to look for that, you know, next good entry point, but they don't have proper validation, and at the end of the day, they have to buy in higher and they lose out on their position of where they're at. I know it gets scary seeing your portfolio drop down, especially whenever you have some good gains on that 7-day. You go up 20%, 30%, and then you lose all of it in a matter of days. But guys, Bitcoin can pump like crazy. We honestly don't know what's possible until it happens. We are on the verge of a move. Mustache talks about it. He says, Bitcoin, I have a feeling we could see a giga candle for Bitcoin at any time. That would start the final phase of this bull run. Life-changing money can be made, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps the last chance in crypto to make a lot out of a little. Please don't mess us up. And, you know, if Bitcoin pumps, at the end of the day, we're still going to see a lag with altcoins, like Miles Dutcher explained. That's just the name of the game, how liquidity moves. But I think when all this is happening right now, with this deviation point that could be happening, or we start to rip up, right now, you know, you need to be strong. You need to be hanging on. You need to diamond hand these next few weeks until we start to see that price action around Bitcoin and altcoins. Of course, if you want to de-risk and from there, you know, put some money to the sidelines into stable coins so that you can buy back in at better points, if you have proper validation, do it by all means. Of course, like how Justin Bennett says, he says, in fact, this is the way you should be, you know, reacting in a cautious manner. Staying cautious when things don't quite add up equals survival. But it can also mean the death of you, the death of your gains, the death of your portfolio, just because people don't know exactly how to move and get back in. These experienced traders, of course, they know how to de-risk and do all these things, and they're playing with exorbitant amounts of money. So whenever you see these specific posts, if you have conviction in your coins, guys, I think it's better to hold. I think it's better to long the coins as long as you have a strong narrative and understanding around these coins. I think trying to jump out and jump back in, it doesn't work out really great unless you have, you know, short positions where you're just trying to make a specific move and you know that that's not going to do too well, so you want to de-risk on those. But in terms of trying to see the alts pump, do that 20, 30, 50, even potentially 70 to 100 X's, guys, you need to have the commitment and be able to stick through all of this. Like how I said, right now, the price action around Bitcoin and patterns that we've been seeing are telling us that we could be deviating. I hate this. I need to go pro already. Overall, guys, we could be seeing a deviation to the lower point, but we also could be shooting higher. What's fueling this right now is the perps and futures, which honestly usually get liquidated whenever we see rallies like this. Justin Bennett goes on to say he doesn't want to give his perspective and make any bold predictions just because the data right now is conflicting. We could shoot up or we could be deviating lower. Mustache says that he thinks we're going to be seeing a huge Bitcoin candle, and he thinks that's going to be the final phase. I honestly do not think so. Of course, even if Bitcoin starts to pump, altcoins are going to slightly lag behind, as Miles Dutcher says. But the biggest thing that I think you need to focus on is his last part of his tweet. He says, by scaling into alts in the lead up, you're betting by the end of the cycle, you will have outperformed Bitcoin, which more than likely all of these coins will have, guys. And you probably will, as long as you don't fumble the bag in the interim. So overall, if you're willing to stick out, if you're willing to stay committed into the markets and have strong commitment in the specific projects that you're investing in, guys, it's better to just hang it out, you know, stick through it, understand that the pain is part of the process, and just wait for that crazy price action around Bitcoin. But that's currently what's going on, guys, in terms of what the predictions are around Bitcoin. The biggest mistake, like how I said, I think, is people trying to rotate and rotate back in terms of trying to make those gains. I think you do need to rotate into specific sectors, but understanding, you know, when to just hold and stay committed is really going to make the difference between you being profitable and you not being profitable. But that's my perspective on the space, guys. If you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader documenting my journey since 2023, keeping you guys updated on the markets, giving you guys specific macro events that you guys need to know, as well as my perspective on what I think you need to focus on. Right now, price action around Bitcoin is really important. We need to see exactly where we're going to be closing out. Today is Friday as of shooting this video, so hopefully we're going to be closing out Saturday and Sunday really positively. At the end of the day, we won't know until Bitcoin makes those moves. From there, we're going to see if alts are going to take a hit. Like how I said, Justin Bennett right now doesn't want to make any specific, perceptions and bold predictions, as well as multiple other traders in the market. So stay committed, guys. Stay updated with the price action around Bitcoin. Follow me on X. I'm trying to get monetized on there, so go follow your boy. I mean, I just got the check mark. It's looking sexy. Like, let's run it up. Let's run this thing up, guys. And overall, I want to monetize my YouTube channel too. So drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my content and my perspective. Let me know if you guys want to see anything in specific. But other than that, guys, stay committed, keep up with the price action, and hopefully we start to rip up and we don't see that deviation, but be prepared for it. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.